Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. So I built a brand new layout, and now contrary to what I've been doing since my return, I have made a giant floor layout. Not one of the small ones I've usually been doing. Maybe except for the first one I made on my return back. That one's rather large. But this one is, well, bigger than what I've done. It's even bigger than that first one. Because the first one had a bunch of open space in a bunch of places. So, yeah. I'm just excited. So let's just get straight into this. And so we're actually starting here at Knapford with Henry. I don't have Henry at Henry's tunnel. And Henry's actually pulling the express. Gordon is actually at the Steamworks. And you're probably thinking, hold on, what? Steamworks? You ain't never done Steamworks before. Well, you see, on this layout, there are two areas that I've never actually done before. And I think they turned out magnificently. If that's even a word. Probably. Anyways. We're going to go up and we're going to take a look at first the Knapford area of the layout. Let me just fix something real quick. Alright. And up we go. So, here at the station, we have Donald, Henry, Thomas, and Douglas. Now, Donald has the log cars, Henry has the express, Thomas with Andy and Clarabelle, and Douglas with a local. There's actually two. No, there's actually. Well, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passenger trains on this layout. And a lot of them are actually really close to each other. But for now, we also have Birdie, Answer Top and Hat, and then here in the yards, it's a very small yards compared to what I usually do. So here where this view is, which we have a siding with the Hippo car and the Chinese Dragon. Here's Philip, and this track just wraps around to a siding there. Excuse me. And on that line to a ramp under the Marin Bridge. And then on this line, we have the charging station, and here's the hand car at the very end of it. One moment, I gotta cough. Excuse me. Very sorry. Anyways. Also here in Knapford, I put this Knapford signal box in. And I actually really enjoy how this turned out. Okay, so. What we're gonna go up to this V-switch here. And so, we go along to the stop and go station. Around this corner, there's a bump sign, and here's the rescue center actually. So I don't have that big building with the overhead track and then 2 tracks on the bottom of the track that curves out. I don't have that building, but I do have a fire station. I have the fire station, captain shed, and the spotlight. And I kind of cheated a bit. I used a Trackmaster piece. It's the Trackmaster Herald helipad. But I used Trackmaster stuff in the past, like cargo, but oh well. Here we have Harvey, and I know Harvey doesn't really work at the rescue center, but hey, Canada time, Harvey works at the rescue center for me. I don't know why he doesn't in the series. It makes no sense. So he works at rescue center in my AU alternate universe. I'm sure that's what it means. Anyways, so you can go through the rescue center to Rocky, and in here actually is Captain, but that should be obvious. There's Butch, one of the fire trucks, and the power trucks. I can't actually find my other fire truck. It's probably, oh wait, no, I see it. It's here in my big train bucket. It's moved since the last time I ever showed it off, I think. The last time I showed it off was in that big yard I did, I think. And that's where I showed you where, like, how I put engine on the line and stuff. Whatever, you get the idea. So then if we go along, we go past the Dustin's tunnel to Oliver, Toad, and Duck. If you go over the Maryland Bridge and come back to Donald's line, you go into the Glonic Switch Tower, which I haven't used in a long time. There's Diesel, and you can go over this wacky track, that switch, into Thomas's line of Knapford, and I should quickly mention Henry's line. Henry's line is just a terminal line of dead ends right out the back with a 6-inch track. Alright, so that's the Knapford area. So I'm going to spin it around into the Tidmouth area of the layout. And we're going to do that by going to the bump sign, going all over the big bumpy track, all the way to Tidmouth Sheds. And there aren't a lot of engines here, but it is a super cool design where you have to switch here, switch here, and then you bring it all together and put some tracks there and sidings. So we have Hank and Arthur not in the sheds, and then we have Wilbert, Stephen, and Fergus in the sheds. There's a Lego person top of the shed, don't know why. Here at the back, it doesn't look super connected, but it's like a little scrap thing. I don't have any road pieces, like ramps or curves or hills. And everybody's going to have at least one road straight. If you don't, then I'm going to be concerned. And you just have some stuff here. It's not really connected, obviously. But you can just, like... So what happens real quick, if you haven't seen this destination before, is you can get the crane on this piece of scrap. It's magnetic. And you bring it over. I had two different pieces of scrap. One's slightly different than the other. One's, I think, a spring or something inside is a bit messed up. It won't do the thing right. Anyways, whatever. I don't know how to speak today. So then you turn this knob. It's a bit loud. Not really, but you can also move the crane out of the way. Let me just do that. So then you stick the scrap in there. And you notice this starts moving forward in the scrap. It's got rubber in the middle, so it can actually be compressed down. And then once it stops, you can do it. A moment. And I just bring the crane over, pick the scrap up, and you can put it back in the scrap lorry, or you can just throw it in a small pile right outside. Then, how to get to this line of Tidmouth, you go on this switch here. Don't go on the switch because it just goes straight to the turntable, and you would go. You would definitely crash if you were not. You crash if you're not. Okay, so let's see. I think let's do the Steamworks next. I think should we? Yeah. Okay. Excuse me again. So we go through this Englishtown tunnel to this switch with the stop sign on it. And so if you go down the curves here, there is the Steamworks. And real quick, let me just put Victor back in his shed. Because you remember a while back I brought a wood Victor. It was the only Victor I could find. As well, wooden railway's gone. Or at least it's back now. It wasn't... Wooden railway was still completely gone when I brought the wood Victor. And here we have this Brio train shed. Here was a coal loader. Another Trackmaster thing, Barter Tower. That was used on the updated version of the narrow gauge layout. Right out of your repair shed with Stepney on it, if it would focus. Yep. Gordon work shed. I put the construction cars here, and that track actually wraps around the back to a very, very pathetic narrow gauge railway. So, up until here, it's dual gauge on that first curve. From there, it's narrow gauge all the way to the very, very small narrow gauge railway, which is actually just one flexi track, 2 8 inches, one small curve, and a couple stuff at the shed. There's no buffers because I ran out of buffers making this layout. But it is a nice place for all the narrow gauge engines to hang out. Yeah, I know Frank isn't narrow gauge, but I don't have any miniature gauge engines, so he just works here. He's the other diesel. Whatever. Complain all you want. It's in this other shed I have that I don't use, really, because I like the other sheds better. But you've got 2 4 inches and 2 6 inches. And obviously Scarloe, Frank, Bertram, Duncan, Smudger, Rusty, Fearless Freddy or Freddy, Reneus, and Duke are here. And Victor's obviously at the Steamworks. Okay, let me stand up. Ugh. We're gonna do the docks next because I really enjoy those docks. So, you go down Diesel's line. Bertie takes the plunge, obviously has to happen. Here on the drawbridge, we have Sir Topham Hatt and Winston. Don't ask why I did that, because I don't know. There you go, over this V-switch into the docks. And quickly, that switch from Thomas's line also goes straight over this crossing into the docks, too. So quickly, let's go on Percy's line, because we have chocolate-covered Percy. There's Porter getting loaded up, and onto that V-switch there. Then there's a couple other ways you can get here, but for now I'm going to show you some other things, such as starting here with Madge, Salty at the barrel loader. You get loaded up with barrels and that ends and stuff. Exciting. There's the paint factory. There is a signal box without the gate. It's just the thing from the castle set. Needs some explosives at the back, because that makes perfect sense. Here we have the chocolate factory building, and this little Lego thing here. Got a little 2x4 and got these like vent pieces, and just put it on there, and then you can sit it on like the flat part of the chocolate factory, and it looks like a vent almost. Kind of, not really. Jeez, my camera does not want to focus today. There we go. And here we just have this absolutely cluttered dock area with Bulstrode stuff, some hay bales, some carrots, apple, pumpkin. Here's some metal piping, some boxes, flour barrels, hay bales. Everything under the sun you can imagine. Here's a big stack of metal pipes. And then that track can also just go there. Now we're going to go on Douglas's line, because that goes around under this track of the signal box, under Gordon's Hill, around to Edward Station with Edward and a coach, over here directly into the docks through the shipping building, and then going over the hill will take you to Flying Scotsman with the other passenger train, down to that crossing, which don't mind the track, all the way back up to Arthur, and there is Elizabeth. Forgot to mention her, I think. Don't know. Maybe. Not sure. Oh well. Anyways, get a shot of the docks real quick. There you go, and don't mind the mess to the side. It's a bit messy here. Alright, where am I gonna go next? I don't know how I'm gonna go. Okay, let's go take a look at this part, and then we'll show you the quarry, because the quarry is very different than what I usually do. I actually haven't used my like fossil run thing in a while, but oh well. So if you go along, you can go on this track here, down all the way around to Douglas's line, or you go up to Neville pulling a big train of pipes, around the corner to the clock tower, down and back on the track as another loop. Now, if you go on Toby's line, I actually was barely able to fit the windmill in here. When I went to do this, I was doing this last night. It was pretty late. I thought this wouldn't fit because of just how big Toby's windmill was. But I mean, that. If this would focus. One moment, if this would focus. That's the clearance I have. Like, barely anything. I mean, look, I can barely shift the clock tower down. I mean, they can even rest against each other. I will say, unfortunately, on this layout, I had to break a rule. That was the don't bend the track rule. I bent some track just to make a couple things fit, like the sheds and stuff. I didn't want to do it. I kind of had to do it. But anyways, we keep on going. Toby is pulling the covered car, honey car, and milk tankers into Henry's tunnel. All the way. Jeez, my camera does not want to focus today. I'm very sorry. There's a house, and that goes under the Bay Bridge, out of the T-switch. And let's see. Yeah. So the Bay Bridge goes down. So sorry. And then you just go along. I am so sorry. It's being very annoying. You know what? Just rub the camera real quick. You better do it. I mean, like. Yeah, I'll just go closer. That just goes along. Until it focuses, it's going to be out of focus to that switch. And this track goes over the bumpy track with Ari and Bert. Up to the switch to Murdoch, right back across the bridge. Another loop. And then also the track of Henry's Tunnel goes down to this area with Hugo and Fergus at the cider mill, the Ulster lumber mill, around the corner right into the sheds. Now here, this track can go along. Here we have Den, Dart, and Sydney. And that's that. Now there's only one part left. That's the quarry, and that's this entire section from Dart all the way to the back corner of the carpet. So I'll walk over real quick and give you a big bird's eye view of it. So I use this big spiral, so let's go down and give you a complete tour. So at this switch we can go to the Boulder Hill, or we go around under Boulder's Mountain where Bill is. Here's Thumper, and he can just drill away, knock Boulder off his perch and cause a wreck. Like that. Yep, that's fun. And then you can go under to the Echo Tunnel where Ben is, with a flatbed. Then there's two ways you can go to the top. You can go on this track, or that track. You can just spiral up to Mavis with the bounce cars, up, and then I kind of like this honestly. I'll show you with Mavis. It's 3 hills like this. There can easily be a derailment, especially the more cars you have. I mean, let's add a flatbed onto this and see what happens now. Maybe this doesn't even go anymore. Or if you want to, just like shift the track a bit. Just so it's slightly off, and then you can really cause some trouble. But anyways, that is the whole layout. Fixing Hank real quick. Anyways, that is the whole layout. Oh, sorry. Anyways, that is the whole layout. I do hope you have enjoyed. And this has been Thomas the Train with a brand new layout, and I will see you later. Bye!